I didn't understand it while I was living with it, and that was perimenopause. Looking back now, post-menopause, I can see exactly when things started to shift. But at the time, I had no idea what was happening to me. Perimenopause is that phase before menopause, where your hormones start fluctuating a little more erratically than usual. And it can start in your 40s, even 30s, and last for years. And for some of us, it just doesn't show up physically. It shows up in the mind. In my 30s and early 40s, I was busy, working, going to school, and trying to build a life for myself. I didn't think to sit and analyze myself. Honestly, I was drinking a lot. So a lot of what I was feeling was either masked or explained away. I just thought that was life. Then in my mid-late 40s, something started to shift. And I didn't know what it was. I just started living differently. I bought a motorcycle, the fast life. I married someone half my age. It was intense emotionally, and it was reckless. And I was still working, still going to school, still functioning. But internally, something was escalating. I just didn't have a language for it. In 2018, I hit a point where I couldn't keep going like that. I checked myself into a rehab. Not because everything had fallen apart, but because inside, I needed quiet. I remember thinking to myself, I just needed 4 white walls and peace and quiet. No noise, no chaos, just peace. But even then, I didn't connect the dots. And the support at the time wasn't directing me in the right direction. Then came 2019, and this is where I really look back now and say, this is when it hit me. I had a meltdown at work. I was pushing boundaries. I had brain fog. I couldn't remember things, very forgetful. I couldn't think clearly. I felt overwhelmed. These just weren't the norms for me. And after an intense interaction with my manager, I walked out that day. And that walkout turned into 3 weeks, an FMLA leave. And for the first time, I had to stop. And let me say this. One thing that probably protected me in that moment, work-wise, was I already had an ADA accommodation in place with HR. I talk about that in another video because that's a whole topic in itself. But it mattered. And after that, with my physician's support, I tried to stabilize. I changed roles. I took a lateral move, but I eventually resigned. And I resigned out of fear, honestly. I thought I was on the radar again. And even then, I still didn't understand what was happening to me. Then COVID hit. I rolled into another relationship. I was still drinking, still cycling. Then in 2021, things started to shift again. I moved back to Miami, my hometown, after being in another city for 7 years away from my family. Started from scratch again. But I found peace. I was around my family and learning to live alone. And that was new for me. By 2023, my cycle stopped. Even then, I didn't fully understand everything yet. But something did change. A year after my last period, the intensity of my symptoms started to quiet down. I had a health scare. I went into sobriety. I no longer went into relationships. And I gained a lot of perspective. For the first time in my life, I can see my patterns, where they were, pretty clearly. And when I look back now, and I understand what perimenopause is all about, and how it affects the brain, especially if you have PMDD, I understand that that combination, for me, it was like fireworks. And I didn't know. That's the part that gets me. I didn't know. So how many women now are living this and thinking something's very wrong with them, with no understanding of what perimenopause is? This isn't something to fix, it's something to learn, and it's something to learn to manage. But do it now. Get the support. educate yourself, and don't get caught in that fog. Be aware and be prepared. If you thought this video was helpful, please like it and consider subscribing to my channel so I can continue to bring awareness to this disorder that still so many people don't know about. And you have a great day.